Hello Fearless Gamers, Matt here for Fearless Games, and today we're continuing on with the Joy of Painting Minis, and with our episode on the Vampire, the Winged Vampire Lord. Last episode, we did a wash on the green armor, and did gold touch-ups on the sword here. Then we went and we added some highlighted tips to his little claws and his horns. Did some work on the chains here, painted up these parchments on his cape, decorated his belt a little bit, and then we went and painted up the skeletons and the ground here that he's sitting on. So we're going to continue on with today using the following paints that you see on your screen, and let us jump right in. So what I'm first going to do is I'm finally going to finish up the little wing detail here on his leg plates, and I'm going to again use the metal medium paint to help, that way it matches up with everything else that we've been doing. I'm going to take, and I'm going to make it a nice red, because I think that will look really good next to the green armor. So we're going to add this red paint to the metal medium. Okay, and then I'm going to take our detail brush and apply it to the mini. Okay. And then we're going to do this little wing here on his other side. Okay. Slip right here. Okay. So, now with that, looks like our bone graveyard thing there looks like it might be ready for the next step, so I'm going to proceed with that, and that is going to be painting up the bones back up to the bone color we had before. This time, though, leaving some spaces where the shade settled. That way we get our dirt look. See, I did that instead of what I usually do because I wanted it to look like there was, like, dirt and grime sitting in between the bones, not just like a natural shade, but to give it more this dirty look than the bone piece that we're going to give to the top of them. Okay. And then paint up here. Sorry, just need to get into that paint bottle. And then just this little bone piece here. And then just have to get to that little spinal column sticking out there in the back. Okay, now I'm gonna clean up those parchment pieces there on his cape, but I'm only gonna do this front one, mainly because the other one is so far in the back there, it's gonna look better if I leave it unpainted. Okay, so now we got that done there. And I'm going to just clean off the brush, and then I'm going to do the highlight bits on this skeleton spinal column thing on his back. And so, there we go. Alrighty. So, now with that taken care of, can leave that done. Looking at him, all that's left is doing these horns here, putting some turf on the base, washing out the red piece, and then tidying up the cape a little bit. And then it'll just be his hand and that silly back thing. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to add a wash to the little wing pieces on his armor. I'll do the same black wash that I did before. And yes, as you can see, putting him on the base has not stopped me from fondling him so much, mainly because of camera angles. But there we go. So now, looking at him, I don't see much else. I just need to do a little bit of highlighting maybe on those straps. Some work on the skeleton bone pieces, but other than that, it's pretty much, for the most part, done. Except for his cape and all that, which we're going to handle right now. Going to get some blue, and I'm going to go over all of the raised areas with this blue color. And I don't know why I've gotten like on this like bluish weird thing here. I just thought it would look nice. And so we're going to take our blue with a detail brush here. As you notice, you'll notice a lot, I very, very rarely switch brushes. Usually that is because I get into a groove with the particular brush that I'm working with, that to switch it would end up causing me to kind of lose my groove. And so I tend to use the same brush for most of the project, even though switching would be a very good idea. And paint this up. Lessen the paint on that. Okay, and this blue's coming out a lot nicer than I originally thought. I thought I was going to end up not liking this at all, but it turns out it's coming out really nicely. Alrighty. And with that, his cape is done. And we're going to move on. I do apologize for the angle. It's this wing here. Wing is a little odd in terms of awkward in terms of causing placement and such. So I do apologize if there's any funky angle issues while watching this. And going off of that, it looks like all that's left is to fix that up. And yeah, so let us go back to remaking our red armor color. That way we can move on to the very next step. Whoops, that would have been bad if I used that color. Okay. Then, with that, get this metal red paint, this metallic red paint, and we're going to just do like the lines of the dragon wing here. And a little bit of the round circle piece. And then flip it around to this side. Okay, now with this, he is pretty much done except for some highlights on some of him and a little blood effect that we're going to throw in later on his lips. So with that, I'm going to, I guess we'll move on to working on the sword. So we got the sword here, and we're going to first finish up the gauntlet piece here. So I'm going to make another batch of green armor color. But first, yeah, no, I'll do this first. Take this, take our mixed metal color, and since I know the back of his hand is not going to be seen in the final product, going to just coat this triangle piece here and this part of his little bracer thing. There we go. Alrighty. And now we're going to paint the blade. We're going to prep the blade and the bottom of the handle there for their colors. So I'm going to first take this, get our black color. Paint up the bottom of the sword hilt here. Give that fingernail there a black fingernail. Okay, so that is all prepped and ready, and it looks like we are out of time. So I'm going to thank you all for joining me today, and we are nearly done. We just have to do a little bit more on the sword, attach it to his arm, do some touch-ups here on the base, and then finish that bat thing. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, Fearless Gamers, take care.